You are now listening to the Young Black and Figuring It Out podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at YoungBlackFIO or on Facebook at Young Black and Figuring It Out. For all questions or inquiries, send your emails to ybfpodcast20@gmail.com. But if you really want to make a statement while showing your support, go to www.youngblackfio.com to purchase some merchandise. We truly appreciate your love and support. On behalf of the YBF team, thank you.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Herb.
And it's your girl Mo.
And welcome to our soon-to-be
world-renowned podcast,
Young, Black, and Figuring It Out. What up, though?
What it do?
Whatever we tell it.
Mm-hmm.
Me saying what up, though, this time got a special meaning.
It's
you
the
know
shirt,
why?
isn't it?
It's the shirt, though. Repping the squad out here. Now, we did lose in the playoffs. I'm going to put that out there after being the number one seed and coming out there and losing. But I'm still going to rep, though. I was upset for like a good week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
And I was extra max when my homies, Pump, is a Commanders fan.
Who are they?
They used to be the Washington Redskins, and then we realized, like, oh, that's probably not appropriate calling people the Redskins. So then we went ahead and called them the Commanders. So
I had no clue they changed their name.
Oh, this is like years ago.
I don't watch or listen to football. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I had no idea.
Do people listen to football?
Don't some people listen
on the radio?
Yeah, highlights or whatever.
Yeah, that's maybe.
1920.
Yeah. Talk about back in the days of the radio. She's listening to football. I was like, do that? Like, who does? Okay.
People listen to us. People listen to football. Anything's possible, okay?
Nah,
I'm going to be looking around
great.
for
I kind of want to know now, like,
sense.
Do people still listen to football? What's the view?
You asking our boy Chad?
Let me see. Yeah, I'm like, yo, did that happen? But nah, so what did we figure out this week? Well, I figured this out. People still listen to football.
Oh,
Keep
man.
going.
Okay, I am confident. I think I circle back every few years and learn the same lessons. But whatever, like, you do can be so inspirational for others, and you don't even know it. It's like learning that the way people see you versus how you see yourself is usually polar opposites. You know, it's such a beautiful thing, but I don't think we give ourselves enough grace or like love to recognize that the positive things that you're doing, the way that you are like showing up for yourself or whatever is impactful for those around you. You know, you're inspiring other people. You're really like helping other people believe in themselves just by showing up for yourself. It's big.
No, that's dope. And do you feel like, I don't feel like everybody's view of themselves is different than other people's view, though.
That's probably possible. However, I seem to be surrounded by people who are suffering from imposter syndrome a lot of times, or I encounter people who will tell me to my face all the time how ugly they think they are, and I don't understand where it's coming from or why.
That.
But, you know, maybe that's the nature of my job, so I'm just seeing it way more often.
Do you feel like you view yourself in a different light or like a more negative light than the world views you?
Dang, why he gotta do me like this? This doesn't need to be about me.
It's the what did you figure out this week section of the podcast.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I think I have grown in that department, but for a very long time, yes. I was in a state of I didn't think people loved me. I didn't think it was possible to be loved. I didn't think I was good enough.
Interesting.
And, you know, for the most part, I'm like, oh, I'm cute. I'm just this little average thing in the corner, but no one's paying her mind. And, you know, the people around me would not allow that to be stated out loud. And would definitely speak into me. And I'm like, it'd be nice to see me through your eyes sometimes. Yeah. So, you know, after some time, I'm like, I am pretty dope. Who'd have thunk it? Yeah. I surely did not.
I support that. You fine. You dope, gang.
But but nowadays I'm running into people who have this kind of mindset as well.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how you see you versus how we see you is so different. But that's not everybody. That is true. This man right here.
Just because it deals with this conversation, there's a saying that there are a 1,000 versions of you. There's 1,000 versions of you because there's a different version of you in everyone's mind who encounters you.
I like that. Thank you to all the 999 versions of me out there.
Too funny. All right. So
oh, you looked it up?
Yes.
What chat say?
Let's go back to this. So this is real. You were on to something. So during the 2023-2024 season, Westwood One's radio broadcast reached approximately 64 million unique listeners.
Wow.
So you stumbled upon this though? It ain't like you knew, but you still was right.
Well, I mean,
Divine genius.
I watch so much TV that I have seen people listening to sports games. So in my mind, that's still something that happens. But I can also see that that's not as popular. But hey, shout out to that season
I'm
and
like,
that radio station.
That's what's up. And that was just the one. So it's like you was on something.
Thank you.
Huh. It's like great to be accidentally right.
Wow.
That happened to me every once in a while, and I'm like, I'm gonna take this one and run with it.
It happens to me so often. So like, have you know what we're not thinking about?
What?
Because we are such able-bodied humans. There are blind people who clearly listen to games.
The implicit bias is crazy.
We're terrible. We're not terrible.
No,
but we
you
are
caught it,
definitely.
though.
Yeah, I'm like, look at us not being inclusive.
We were inclusive. We just brought it up.
Meaning prior at the thought.
Nah, the fact that we brought it up means we was inclusive. Look at her trying to take away the greatness. You should just keep it pushing like, oh, and don't forget. We could have took the mantle. We got to edit this and cut this out.
I really... That's a good point. I just wanted to apologize to anyone that, they were like, wow. I'm like, you're right. We didn't think. There are so many other people.
I would argue that we did think because we just said it, and this is a we because this is the podcast. So thank you for bringing it up on behalf of us, and we're very inclusive. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's how I would frame that. Yes, I don't know what she's talking about, y'all. We on point. Okay.
Some of us ate humble pie today.
Hey, I'm just keeping it a buck. It's like, nah. You're going to bring it up and like, we so bad for not bringing it up. We did bring it up. Thank you. All right.
You thought, what did you figure out this week?
Oh, dang. What did I figure? I'm about to jump into the podcast. What did I figure out this week, man? You know what I figured out this week?
I don't know. I'm nervous.
Nah, I figured out this week. So, like, I said this a couple of times, but I've been starting to do swim lessons. And one part of my thing, just so folks know, could not, like, I would drown immediately. Like, close to water, I'm drowning. Not even in the water. Out of there. Like, no, you know that's hey, I'm gone. You know it. Brother's a land mammal.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm like, let me get on part of my New Year's goal. So, like, let me get the basics of swimming.
Yeah.
I don't even want to be Michael Phelps. That's the last good swimmer I knew. Are there other ones?
I don't know any of this.
I was about to say, it was like, whoever. That's the last one I knew. And he got caught smoking, and then wasn't a big deal. Not everybody smoked. Ain't that crazy though?
They really try to play him, but I mean, he is such a decorated Olympian. It's like, that's my boy.
Tough.
Long arms.
So I don't even got to do that. My only goal was to live. Like, if you drop me in the water, I want to make it from A to B.
Yeah.
I've always said that.
Yes, that's true.
So now I've been swimming, and I realized like every week that I go, I get incrementally better. And like now I've been doing it now for 2 months.
Okay.
And I just looked up at my last session. I'm like, yo, I'm swimming. Like I was tough. I'm like, wow.
Okay, athlete.
And I had mentioned this in like, you know what I'm saying, like another conversation, like,
I
can swim. It's like, oh, it just came out of nowhere. Like, oh, I'm swimming. Like, I'm out here. I am Nemo, gang.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like,
the thought of seeing you, I'm sure you were just like brimming with joy while you're swimming. Because when you are uncomfortable, or like in the times when you were near water, like you could breathe and you knew water was close, and you got very uncomfortable.
I was tense. Like, nah, with a life jacket. It's like, bro, we like
in the face, be looking like,
nah,
why am I here?
Nah, tense. Like we a mile away. I'm like, with a life jackets. I'm trying to make it, y'all.
Oh, I would love to see this. The joy.
Legit.
That's dope.
And here's the other part. It's like, and this is what I figured out though. It's like, it's incremental steps to get to success. Like that just didn't just happen. And it's like now I look back and it's like I'm doing it, but it really was like small steps. And I was I was looking bad. Like I'm out there with like the flippers and the yeah, it's okay. And what's the joint called? I forgot the joint called where you like a little mini board that you use.
Oh, the tiny
Yeah. So like, you know,
Yeah.
it was tough. Like, and even I had to ask my swim coach, like, hey, any like advice on these goggles? Because water keep getting in. She's like, you just got to do it tight. They ain't supposed to be comfortable. I'm like, oh, okay, I know that. You know, it's like small stuff. And now I get in there, it's like, I'm in moving and grooving. You know what I'm saying? So it literally was like, and it dawned on me that it's these small steps that lead to success.
They lead to huge changes.
And I think it's hard for us sometimes to like deal with that because it's like, if you look and you need to run 5 miles, and you just look down straight and it's 5 miles away, you're like, oh my God, I can't do it. But it's just like, all right, I just got to take these. All right, let me just do one. Let me just do this next one. And then you look up and say, oh, I ran 5 miles.
Yeah.
Like, and that's how you get there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that swimming was a big aha. Yeah, my coach is so funny. She is like the coach for 3rd grade kids. Like, that's how her energy be. Like, you did so good. You got this. And like I did something, and she would like jump up in her hands and like a field goal joint. And you know, some of that is like, all right, come on now, yeah, I'm pushing 40. No, I'm not. But it's like that's how I feel. But it's like that's okay. It's like, that's how I feel mentally. And it's like you in there cheering and jumping and cartwheeling. But that actually is dope though.
I mean, you need the encouragement.
So I rock with it.
You imagine she's like,
That was okay.
Good job. And then you leave defeated. You might not want to come back.
Yeah, she's like, ooh, that was like a C effort.
Yeah. When people
like, you know what, it's
give
okay.
you those kind of grades, you don't want to keep going forward.
That happened to you?
You know, one time when I was learning to drive, I definitely got a low grade from a friend.
Hey, that's funny. I remember that.
Yeah, because you gave it to me.
Somebody got to be honest. But yeah, hey, you got to keep it a buck. It's like, what was this? Okay. All right, y'all. Well, that's what we figured out.
Yes. Thank you for being with us during our goose.
You making this.
We be goose.
We just kicking it. All right, so let's get to what we actually talking about. So man, this is a unique topic, and I think it centers on. We ain't got a title yet, but it centers on this idea of what is your responsibility to be an advocate on behalf of other oppressed people, right, or people in general. And I think this is a hard thing because depending on the space you in, depending on like your own identities, it can be hard sometimes to feel like you can be an advocate. That's why people ask people with the most privilege, like if you have money, or if you're, if you're a white man, if you are cisgender, if you name it, you know, certain things that put us in a position where we have more leverage or influence, that you should advocate for others because you're in those rooms or in those spaces or might be taken seriously. And so that's a part of the conversation today. Have you first going to advocacy, like how important is that to you as somebody who I think for a long time has been in different spaces where, you know, you have the opportunity and sometimes it feel like the responsibility to advocate. Like, how's that for you?
How does it feel to advocate for others?
Nah, how important is that to you?
Oh, to advocate for others.
100%.
You know, you want to say like it's major. I have a hard time sometimes when people cannot see things from another person's perspective, you know, and it's like not taking the time to understand that everybody is going through something or has something that's worth like giving a little grace toward or thinking about to make it easier for them is difficult for me. So I find when people are just like very, you know, they are just so, it's like, why? We all could use that kind of support. You know, it's very important.
Yeah, like what do you think drives that rigid stance from people?
I think some people are hurt. I think some people have a hard time being vulnerable or stating that they're wrong or looking or appearing like they're wrong in any way. I think people get embarrassed at times or whatever, and they, you know, it's easier to just stand strong and they're wrong than to cave or appear like you got one up on me type of energy, which is terrible because it's at the expense of someone else as well as themselves. It's like, it's never worth it.
Yeah. I also think a lot of that comes from people not being exposed and having a limited perspective. Like, you know, people get these influences, no matter what they are, they kind of formulate those opinions and have not been around other folks.
Right.
Or exposed to different environments or any of that. And it kind of creates this narrative that's then reinforced or confirmed by the people they're around.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it kind of leads to like, nah, that's how they are.
Mm-hmm.
And so when those things get locked in and people become like that, I think that's when it's important to advocate.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then have you ever had a situation where it was like it felt unsafe to advocate for yourself or others?
Mm-hmm.
Talk about it.
Usually it'll occur when you're you're in a position where someone else is in power.
The power dynamic.
Over you. And if they have any sort of power over your job, your finances, like...
That's the main one.
Yeah, that risk.
Yo.
Because some people are so vengeful. They're so vindictive.
Yeah.
And it becomes a problem. And so I have advocated in the past for either children or myself.
Right.
Even in the face of that.
100%.
And it has not worked out.
I thought you were about to come and bring it home with the story like, yeah, and here's this great ending.
Nah, my integrity is
funny.
intact. You know, my peace with myself.
You lost a little bit on the way.
Strong, but I lost the fight left and right. There was no... I'm sorry.
Yeah, it came in real. Like, nah, that didn't work out, B. But I did it though.
It's like, you know, and I tried and I kept trying. Like, I went to like the leader of the building. They said, you should probably go handle that yourself. What? I have no power.
I lost the fight.
I've gone to the one above the leader of the building, and they looked at me like, too bad. And then I ended up not getting promoted.
Oh my God.
And my reputation got not tarnished, but it definitely got tainted. I'm like, wow.
Hey, if at the end of this we can tell you like advocate and push, and you're like, it's all gonna work out, we can't say that now.
But no, okay. I didn't stop though. I didn't stop. And in the end, it worked out better for me.
You had to
overall.
push through the valley.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. I thought. Yo, that's funny. You know,
I wouldn't do nothing different. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, that's funny. For me, it's like a part of my job as a chief diversity, because I thought about this. I've been a chief role for like.
It's been some years.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
It's been a minute in work. This is probably like 2018, 19?
Yeah, because I'm like, I know it's been over 5 years now.
I'm like, dang, that was a long. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Come on, yo. I've been sleep. I'm done.
Coming close to a decade.
I'm about to put my feet up. Nah, I ain't got like that. But it's
pushing this old man narrative today.
Yeah, granddad. But I feel like I always had just like a little protection because it was a catch-22 because of my job space, and I advocate also just in life. Like that always has been a thing for me. Where I had the strong justice pool where if something wasn't right or someone was getting bullied, I always wanted to intervene. Now it didn't always work out the best for me.
Yes.
To your point, but I had this strong little, I got to advocate. So like that led me into the work I was doing. And, like I said, people don't know what a chief diversity officer is. And in workspaces, you like advocate. Really, you advocate for resources, access, you know what I mean? Being at the table, a voice for people who may not have those things. That's all that is. Whoever that is. So for all the people who be on that trash, it's for whoever that is. It so happened that America is trash, and that happens to be like black and brown people. Keep it a buck though.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what it is. And this is I'm gonna say this is my country. We built this John. Like, I'm gonna tell you this now.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
He's full-fledged American. Yeah.
No, this was stolen from people who were put on reservations. And then we were brought here after being stolen and sold, and we built it. So no, I was like, this is my country. Go back to where you come from. I'm here. So anyway, back to you feel me? Stand on it, on business though. So like,
feel like that little like chihuahua in the background.
yeah,
like,
you feel me? But we are in Trump's America, so they might pull up and give me y'all. This probably just might have did it. So I don't know.
He's a capitalist.
I am. Hey, I agree with that part of it. But what was I saying? I got so lost, man. Come on, let's walk it back. Oh, advocacy, justice, pull. So in that job, I had to walk all the way back. I had this like safety where people expected me to advocate for others.
Right.
So it was like expected. So I never really got any retribution because it was like they felt I pushed it too far, but because people expected me in the workplace. The catch-22 of that is people almost like don't count what you're saying as seriously because they expect you to say, like, of course you're going to say that.
Right.
Like, but what's the real thing?
Right. Because of your role at the same time.
Yeah.
And you were also in more of a position of power to an extent as well. So, like, they at least heard you out.
Right. That's the benefit.
Yeah.
And then, you're right. So that is, I could bring those things up. And it do be, I just had a situation the other day where somebody, you know, power dynamic was saying some stuff, and I had to be like, well, and I did it in I think a real smooth way, but I'm like, well, think about it like this. Like, or this ain't got nothing to do with that. This could be anything.
Right.
And that was risky situation I was in, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you got to do it. Now there are times where I'm like, bro, I'm gonna let this one rock.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let this one rock.
Because you can't fight every single battle.
You gotta be calculated.
Yeah.
I want to. Now, it's some people who got the energy to advocate, and they like, I'm gonna go for it regardless. And those people sometimes don't make it. They don't navigate the system, and that's cool. You need both. You need Martin and Malcolm. But like, at the end of the day, though, for me, I like to be calculated and strategic. And there are all those people who like they gonna knock it down every time.
Right. Because your goal is to get forward regardless.
Absolutely.
Right. And I don't think some people get stuck in the first part.
Yeah.
Not realizing there's so much more. Like the war is just beginning.
Yeah, B.
Yeah. Every battle don't need your attention. So I hear that.
Oh, you feel me?
I hear that.
Now, it's a situation that came up like this recently, which kind of brought this on.
Okay.
And like what really got us thinking about this is a podcast that we heard, but then a specific special. So on March 4th, Andrew Schultz had a special titled Life. Right? And for all intents and purposes, it's getting like a really good reviews in terms of like the special itself. And again, Andrew Schultz is like, you know, an A-list comedian, but people know of him. I think he's like made a name off making like really risky jokes, even throughout the times where it was like cancel culture. You know what I'm saying? But he said it on Shannon Sharp show the other day, like cancel culture is done. Like that time has came and went. I'm like, well, just you wait. It's just like, who canceling is different. It's different.
Yeah.
Now, DE&I is getting canceled. It's not going.
Yeah, they just diverted their attention.
They redirected it.
Yeah, yeah.
Feel me?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Cancel something that we shouldn't be canceling. But anyway, so he on the podcast on the Breakfast Club, because he's also in the black community, he's very known as being Charlamagne's friend, Charlamagne the God. Like that's kind of his known thing.
Yeah,
it's like
that's his bestie.
Oh, that's Charlamagne boy.
Yeah.
You know? But on the Breakfast Club, he had doubled down on something that happened. I forgot, this was like a little while ago. And the reason why it blew up so big was because Kendrick Lamar's album, GNX, the best album in 2024, like fire.
Yeah, this was a few months back then.
Yeah. This is tough. The album in there, he said, the line from Kendrick Lamar was, "Don't let no white comedian talk about no black woman. That's law." He didn't say no names. Nobody knew what he was talking about. But they searched to find out who could he be talking about.
Right.
And most people to this point believe it was Andrew Schultz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Based on what happened. So if we go back.
Right.
Okay. So on his podcast called Flagrant, this was in July of 2024.
Right.
Kendrick dropped his album in November of 2024. Schultz made a joke with this group called, what's their name?
The names are Fuhad and James. They are from England or some part of Britain, and they have their own podcast.
What's it called?
It's like something in gigs.
He
think he's slick.
But they were on a podcast with him, and he was asking like, "Oh, what type of women do you date? And what's going on?"
Now, mind you, these are two black guys. I believe they have ancestry in Nigeria.
Yeah.
At least one of them, and I think the other one might be biracial. Can't recall, but either way, one is very light skinned, one is very dark skinned, and they have been besties or like very close friends since college. They're in their early 30s. Yeah.
So in the podcast, they're making a joke. He asked him like, "Well, what type of women do you date?" And they went back and forth, and then they said like a lot of dudes and wherever they from, where are they from again?
England,
somewhere
London,
somewhere out there, and
somewhere in the UK.
The UK. Like a lot of people date black women and then end up dating white women. And Schultz was like, it's like they call it the black girlfriend effect. Like they be stressed out, losing their hair and blah blah blah. And grow beards for protection. They getting slapped. That's what it was. That's what it was, right? And so after that, whatever, and Giggles just giggled.
Yeah.
That was kind of all that happened.
James and Few had laughed like it was funny and just
kept pushing.
Kind of like, yeah.
And post that, before Kendrick's album came out, there was like a response to that, which I didn't catch though.
Yeah,
it was
they made this public apology because they got so much backlash.
What was the response from the public? You would say?
So their fan base is mostly black women. It's like a lot of black women watch them, think that they are so funny. You know, they have all these like different like clips that come out and people just rock with them heavy. And they're huge overseas, but have done tours in like America throughout the States because of how big they've gotten. Right. So the backlash was people were like, cancel them. We're done. Can't believe they didn't stand for us. Da. Mind you, I found out about it like directly after it happened because my girlfriend hit me up like, girl, you see this? And I'm like, mind you, I was a fan. I was sending all kinds of clips because I'm like, I love them. Oh my gosh, they're so funny. Hurt, immediate hurt. So yeah, everybody was anti, and I unfollowed them that day.
Dang, okay. And so that's interesting. So yeah, that happened. Then it came back to like, 'cause I didn't know about it until Kendrick's album, and then all the resurface came about it. I don't pay them no mind. I'm not a fan. So this is the interesting part. It raised this question, two things, but I think we should pause here. Let's park here for a second. This idea of comedy and comedic license. And should comedians, this probably be a great episode to do later, but do comedians have a level of amnesty to be able to make jokes because this is their profession, or don't they? So that's the part that's like, oh, we're going to have to bring that back because people would argue.
Yeah.
And I know how I feel about it. You know how I feel about this. I was passionate about it on the phone. I was tight. Yeah, but people would argue though, like Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
I'm not, because he talk about everybody and everything all the time.
He does.
You feel me? So, but it's different though. You got the level of privilege. So we'll come back. So we'll come back to that though. But that conversation also came up. And then after the album came out, Andrew Schultz had like some responses, and he's been saying like he wasn't mad about the line. He was mad afterwards, and he was like, the ones that coon and is being groomed, slide on them, like threatening his friends and blah blah blah. And then he said, really people shouldn't be necessarily mad at him. They should be mad at
the podcasters.
Yes, because how was their response again?
They just kind of laughed.
No.
What do you mean? Oh, the apology?
Yeah, the apology.
The apology was weak. It was it was not good. It was as if they did not understand the damage they did. Yeah. Or how hurtful their words
what they say though?
Were. They were just kind of like, we see that you guys are like in that kind of tone, like we see that you guys are, hurt by what was said, and we're sorry. And then they start making excuses like, we weren't really
comfortable. That's the part that blew me. Yeah, that blew me. We didn't know what to do, and that killed me. That killed me.
Now, mind you, if that was the case, not only could they have said something before the backlash hit, but that apology would have sounded a lot different. Yeah. Because I'm like, you only seem to be saying this because people are upset.
Right, trying to save the money. Yeah. So let's talk about that. So just going back to advocacy that we talked about, right? So you in their situation, because I'm putting myself in that situation. What would I have? Well, I know what I would have done.
Oh, we know.
Oh, 100%. Checking, bro.
That's just how you are.
Yeah, I'm checking, bro. 100%. But like, so in that situation, do you feel like they have a responsibility to advocate? Because I'm doing it because that's my nature. But do folks have a responsibility too?
In that situation, I can't see how.
In situations like that.
Yeah, I can't see how they don't. It's like, you came from a black woman. What are we doing? I know one of you got sisters. What we doing? At this point, I don't care who you date because we don't even want you. What you doing? How you think that's okay? You just let's laugh with a white man. Who is he? You just met him. This isn't a friend. This isn't someone you have some kind of rapport with. What's going on?
Yeah, the other side of that, folks say, is like, again, bro he got comedic license to be able to say and to speak.
What I got to do with them?
No, I'm saying like the fact that if they take on that monitor, like bro got comedic license, he making the jokes, he make jokes about everything, does that then give him a pass because he's just joking? Like it's just jokes.
Now, I can understand why some people be like, he could say whatever. And if they wanted to allow him to say whatever, that is fine. But that they're representing themselves right now. And so them not saying anything opposite, different about how they feel about what? So you're all one then. That's not, now I'm just grouping you. You're all together is how I see it.
Oh, that's a good distinction.
Yeah, because it could have been very different. You know, if someone sitting across from us, they say something. You and I don't have to agree with him.
Nah, we ain't be like,
And
nah.
we don't have to stand on that. I don't necessarily have to make you believe what I believe, but I'm going to tell you right now, you don't speak ill in front of me, on me. What do I? Very different.
Got you. So it might be like, yeah, in this moment, it's not, and I might believe that people got community license or whatever, but I'm going to let it be known like, this is what I believe.
Right. And I've seen plenty of different people do that in interviews, wherever they are. You can feel how you want to feel, but you're not about to put words in my mouth.
And the fact that they did not, because they kind of laughed and went along, that's where that's where the line drawn.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Hence why their apology was so weak, because I'm like, y'all don't stand for nothing.
Talk that talk.
Ugh, disgusted.
Now, I tell you my thoughts on that.
Yeah, let's hear.
So, I feel like, and this is where it goes to advocacy. I would have had to advocate. And I was also mad at them. I was more mad at Andrew Schultz because I've been riding with bro. And again, he refined this in a couple of, I think it was the Breakfast Club. He said like, in his stand-up, you get the refined version of a joke. You can articulate what you really mean. In the podcast, it's hard to do that because you just kind of shooting the stuff.
Right.
He might say in his living room, kicking it, being funny, you know what I mean, whatever. Somebody he close with. So he did say that. But I do have higher expectations for him because of what I believe he stood for, you know what I mean, and who he around. So I was tight at him because it's like, bro, what you don't realize is that, or what you're not admitting, because even if he admitted what I'm about to say and still was like, but I still want to joke like that, that's cool. But he's not admitting that, bro, you have a platform and power. The jokes and the things that you say do matter. I feel the same way about Dave Chappelle.
Right.
Like, bro, you got to stand on that. Now, what you saying about trans folks and LGBTQ folks, like, yeah, they jokes, but you have a platform and power. They're going to influence how people think. That's how influence and power and platform works. Now, if you're honest about that, say, I hear that, I know that, and I'm still doing it, cool. But to not admit that was my problem with Andrew Schultz.
Right.
Not to be honest about that. Like, bro, here's what's going on right now.
Right.
Like, when you say this, especially as a white man, bro, it's going to carry different weight. People believe he like a big time MAGA, you name it.
Right.
He not though.
Right.
But it's like, yeah, the way you positioning yourself, bro, is doing that. And you feeding stereotypes.
Right. Which is crazy because I expected a lot less from him. Like, I don't expect more.
I follow him though.
I have
That's
not,
why.
right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I've seen some of his clips, and like, I've seen how his stand-ups go, and I have seen him actively say, everybody can get it. Like, he ain't holding for nobody. So I expected nothing from him. I held more on the two podcasters.
Respect,
I follow them,
Yeah.
and they're black men. And I'm like, that whole thing of like protect black women at all costs.
Oh yeah, he was lame to me.
Right. And
That was lame.
I did not expect anything on Schultz, but you have a good point because he does have a strong following.
Black folks too. Like,
yeah. I mean, Charlemagne has stamped him as if like he can be invited to the cookout. So I think that's why his face keeps popping up on timelines or whatnot. It's a good point.
Yeah, Charlemagne, he cooking at the cookout.
Yeah.
Nah, it's had me tight, bro.
I don't know what cookout they at, but
yeah, no, it's a barbecue. But nah, hey, just kidding. It's not a cookout. But yeah. Hey.
that was good.
Hey, I'm just saying. It's very different game. But hey, but nah, I was disappointed, bro. The two dudes, I'm like, oh no, I see what's going. Like they was, all right. I know who we dealing with
Goofies.
here.
Yeah.
But Schultz is like, bro, I hold you in higher regard than that because I do rock with bro. He's hilarious. Okay, who I was most upset at though, Charlemagne.
I don't know.
Bro gave him so many passes and continues to. He ain't checked him once in public, and it don't seem like he did it in private.
Which tells you what level of friendship that is.
And I put this, actually, I told you I don't typically Twitter fingers, but I Twitter fingers though.
Yeah, I think it's happened now twice.
Yeah.
That I've known you.
Yeah, I jumped on the Twitter fingers, and I went on his post because he's on the Breakfast Club. He let him say what he was saying. I'm like, bro, I'm like torn because I respect the loyalty to your friend, and for me, that's gonna come first over like most things.
Right.
However, and you know this, and I mean this, like, right is right, wrong is wrong. I'm gonna tell you,
Yeah.
hey, nah, you shouldn't be like that's a wrap. Like you making us look bad. Like if we out somewhere and you do some wild stuff and you about to get us beat up, I'm talking about, back in the day. So it's like, I'm gonna fight with you, bro.
Yeah.
And then when we get back home, like, hey, don't do that. You're gonna get us all messed up. But then the next time if you do it again, it's like, oh, now we got a problem.
Right.
Because we already talked about it. So the fact that like that happened and it was on the podcast and Charlamagne held him down, which I expected. But now it continues to happen. Charlamagne ain't said nothing. And he made and I don't know if he was being funny or not, but on the Breakfast Club, somebody was like, yeah, you always gonna be seen as the bully because you're a white man. As if like, yeah, bro, the reason why they calling you or mad at you is because you're a white man. Like, everybody gonna do that.
What?
Charlamagne said that. I'm like, bro, are you going to negate the fact that that's a fact? That was an earned thing.
Right.
We're not in here playing around like, yeah, we know for a fact that like white men have dominated America. That's a fact. And that set up things whether people want to say it's intentional or not, that have benefited them. That's a fact. Who can own property and vote for years? So who owns the most property and who votes for laws that fit them now? That's a cycle. So the fact that bro has weight that's different, earned.
Right.
It's a fact. And to not check that, bro, on that podcast while he was still talking and saying things, to me was lame. I lost respect for Charlamagne. I ain't gonna lie. Like, and I had it because he be riding for us. And I get what he doing. He riding for his friend. But I said that on my Twitter fingers. Like, I lost respect for you, bro.
That's real.
I can't lie to you.
I had much respect for him to begin with, so.
He's dope, though, man. Genius.
I mean, he has said some things in the past that have bothered me, and I wish I could remember specifically where they are.
Yeah.
Like sometimes he's just so messy, and I don't care for how he goes about things. I don't like it, but it tells me where his mindset is. It's like what Andrew said or is doing isn't a problem. It doesn't impact him. It doesn't bother him. It's like y'all are all being soft instead of, again, looking at things from other perspectives, and that drives me crazy.
Yeah.
It's like I couldn't just sit by while my friend is doing harm to others and not say nothing.
Yeah, or just make him be honest about it. Like, he ain't check me and be honest.
Yeah.
Like, this is impacting people.
I have walked away from friendships for those reasons. Yeah. It's like, what we doing? Like, because, we represent each other. We stand for each other. If I'm going to be loyal to you and you have no integrity.
I can't, bro. You got to check him. So, and I will say, to give it credit, like Charlamagne did passively check him on their podcast, Brilliant Idiots, the first time. He did say, like, when they was asking him about it, he said, I'm biased towards black women. And it makes him, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I will say bro was trying. And I agree, he used to be messy. I think he's come a long way in, like, the way he navigates. Like, so and I know we different opinions. That's okay.
Yeah, because I want to know that he's improved because I don't watch
follow him. Yeah.
Bro, I can't do it.
Again, Roman advocating for us. I think he'd be spot on a lot of his ideas. Like, and that's, again, it's hard to be disappointed when you don't have any expectations on people. But it's like, bro, come on. You know who you lead. You know people look up to you. You know what's going on. And you allowing that, it's like, you know what you're doing, bro. Sometimes it's bigger than, like, the podcast. I know Schultz is a part of your brand, and I know, like, but sometimes it's bigger than that, bro.
Right.
And I feel like this is one of them times.
Right.
And yeah, man.
Which is disappointing even more because there's been all kinds of different groups or things that have come out. There was like the Try Guys. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
Nah, that's concerning.
There was 4 guys. They used to work at BuzzFeed, and they started a company together where they would do different things and put videos out. And so, like, try weird foods, trying things. Okay. That was why they called this.
Glad you explained that.
Point of the story being, right? It was a 4-person business. One of those people, he was married, and he was almost known as the great married guy. And then it came out that he was cheating on his wife with one of their employees, which went against the values of the company and how the 4 of them created this company. And the 3, nixed him out, made statements on the hurt and harm that it has caused, and he is no longer part of it, and they have completely separated. So, like, knowing that there are companies or people that will stand on the integrity or the values of what certain things represent, and not just be like, he's my friend. Personally, they could still be friends with him. Who knows? That's not my business. But professionally, or when it comes to their audience, they stand for what's right. And I'm like, we don't have enough of that. I don't see that enough, like in our society or in the way that people are, they almost become personas only and no longer real people. That's all I'm saying.
I hear that. No, that makes sense. Yeah, man. Good stuff. So going back to the thing about advocacy, we want advocacy from people we expect to advocate to whatever and giggles and Charlemagne and whatnot, but also from people who have they have the agency to advocate.
Right.
And that shows, bro.
Right.
You do. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, it's to that's something we expect.
Right.
That's something we got to demand, I feel like. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's a good point.
Yeah, so, and then the last part of this was...
It's the head moving. I know this time.
People probably listening right now. What you think they're thinking?
What in the world they talking about?
Listen, y'all, we might be right.
We might be wrong.
But at the end of the day,
we just young, black, and figured it out.
CC on the track, boy.